So welcome. We are going to begin. I am teaching today and I have a student. I have a live-in student. This is a consensual relationship and I'm really looking forward to teaching. So we're going to begin. So I'm going to ask you to start on your back. Should I? So I have I don't know. We're not sure what is going on with my foot. I need an x-ray. I can't get an x-ray. So I'm wearing this boot, but I really wanted to teach. So we're trying something new. So that's why we're trying this new format. So we'll see what happens. Who knows? So can you lay on your back? Can you stretch out? All right, so as you stretch out onto your back, I'll invite you to take a few big breaths in and out and feel where you are. We have a nice long amount of time today together. So the focus of this practice is overall unity. Unity with yourself, unity with your breath, unity with your body and your mind. So let's use this practice wisely. And I'll invite you to just softly let your head go from side to side. And then gradually feel the head slow down where you let your head rest in center. Give a little motion to your shoulders so you feel a spacious quality in the shoulders that really promotes the beautiful articulation in the neck. For right now, it's resting, but as we progress through the practice, there'll be a lot of really delicious movement. And then once the shoulders feel pretty well situated, spacious but grounded, give a little reach of your arms. So see if you can keep your shoulders heavy while you stretch your arms and you open and close your hands and you twinkle your fingers. So you really start to feel a potential to shift your body and your mind into unity. And then when that feels satisfied in your arms and your hands, let them rest. And just gradually see if you can deepen your inhalation and your exhalation. And feel the weight of your ribs on the ground while you breathe. So we're going to use this practice to really enjoy this way of being in unity with the body and the mind. And then what I'd ask you to do is stay comfortable, stay relaxed, but give a little squeeze of your glutes. So let your butt cheeks squeeze a little bit. Notice the low back, notice the thighs, notice any sensation through the legs. So squeeze and relax, squeeze and relax, squeeze and then totally relax. And then through that, let the legs stretch a little bit. Stretch the right leg, stretch the left leg. And just naturally, there's some motion that you'll create in the ankles, in your feet, in your toes. And then just let the whole body be still. So now you've done a pretty thorough check-in of the whole body. So now what I'd like to weave into the practice right now is a very easy and very rewarding mantra that will go throughout the whole practice. I am enough. So when you breathe in, think to yourself or say it aloud, I am enough. When you breathe out, think to yourself or say aloud, I am enough. So we'll go with that repetition of wording so it becomes second nature. So it becomes as smooth as your breath. I am enough. And the next time you take a breath in, place one hand on your heart. I am enough on the inhale and on your exhale. On your next inhalation, place your other hand on your stomach, the I am enough mantra, in and out with your breath, in and out. and taking note of how you are doing right now. And how you're doing right now, let it be held in that statement, I am enough. Are you tired? Are you hyper? Are you afraid? Are you anxious? Are you excited? Right? Like just really notice how you are, and then just wrap it up like the perfect gift. Wrap it up with your breath. Wrap it up with the words, I am enough. Take a big breath in through the nostrils, sigh the breath out through the mouth. Sigh it out. It's got a little bit of an audible sound to it. Release your arms at your sides. Begin to circle your wrists and circle your ankles. You can even stick out your tongue, and if you can, cross your eyes or just let your eyeballs move around. Feel things coming back to the surface now that you're really perfectly grounded in the moment. And go ahead and bend the knees. Stand the feet on your mat. Begin to move the legs side to side. Throughout the movement, throughout the breath, when sensation arises, a perfect time to repeat to yourself, I am enough. Feel the stretch. Feel the limitation. Feel the aliveness of your skin, the elasticity there, the stability of your bones. That perfect harmony of all of your organs doing whatever it is that they do to keep you going. Go one more time to each side. And then come on into center to step your feet to touch one another. So you feel some contact with your feet. Open and close the legs a few times. Extend the arms out in a new position. While you stretch your arms out, move your head side to side. So there's a little bit of multitasking here. Tip the head side to side, open and close the legs. And the two might not feel like they sync up, right? And that's a little bit of play that I like to weave into the teaching. Perfectly imperfect. Again, I am enough. While you open and close the legs, now separate the feet big time. Take them as wide as your mat. Open and close the legs. Open and close the legs. Big breath in. Full breath out. Good. And now have the feet just a little bit closer and the arms at the sides of the body for a bridge pose. Just start with a little bit of a baby bridge pose here. Lift your hips, bring them down. Lift the hips and the ribs, bring them down. Lift the chin. Sink the shoulders down. And rise and fall within your breath. Let your heel come out just a little bit. Yeah. Push down into the feet. Press down into the shoulders. Let there be a lightness in your toes and your fingers. And then the next time you come down to the ground, work with a little bit of a pelvic tilt. Get some blood flow for the low back. Get some hydration there in the hips and in the pelvic girdle. And feel a wave-like motion that's really inspired by your breath. Inhale and exhale. Great. And then let the body come down. And then when the time is right for you, pull your knees in towards your body. Use your hands to pull the knees in. Big breath in. Full breath out. Again, the wording, I am enough. Change the direction of any motion that you've got. So if you're going side to side, go front to back. If you're going in a circle, go in the other direction. Take another big breath in. Full breath out. Good. Your left foot, drop it down to the ground and use both hands on the right leg and just squeeze it in. Squeeze it in while you breathe. Soften the shoulders. Good. Twinkle the right toes, move the right ankle, feel through the right foot. Move your head side to side, chin away from the chest. Create length in the neck. Good work. And then switch that to the other side. Go ahead and switch it. Hold on to the left leg. Drop the right foot. Play with the toes moving and the foot moving and the ankle. Shrug your shoulders. Feel the breathability of this shape, even though there's a lot of compression. Good work. Switch to the first side again. Pull the right knee in, stretch the left leg onto your mat, reach out. Take a steady breath in and out. Take a breath to ground the back of your head and the back of your heel and feel really long and spacious within the mantra, I am enough. I am enough. Good, and then on the next breath, switch that. Go ahead and pull the left knee in and reach out, really yawn out through the whole right leg. And then when you feel like you've got your reach, you've got your length, give a little bit of a tacking down of your heel in the back of your head. And notice, does that bring you a little bit more into your body? Gets you beneath the surface of the skin, into your muscles, into the weight of the bone and the functionality of your organs. It is just such a cool phenomenon. Take another big breath in. Full breath out. Excellent. Again, pull both the knees into the body. Take a full breath. And now hold on to your thighs so you can stretch your legs up to the sky. And I find that every body has their own way to do this. So a lot of folks will reach the legs straight up in the air. Others of us will bend one knee and then the other. So really just close your eyes, take your time, stretch through the legs, bend the knees. Feel the stability here at the very foundation. I'm thinking the back of your pelvis, the little bit of a curve of the low back, the weight of the ribs. Breathe into the back of your ribs and let the shoulders have this openness that they're trying to ground to the floor, but they might lift up a little bit, right? So we just kind of feel into that alignment and give it another big breath in and out. Good. So everybody for a moment, stretch both the legs up, cross your ankles, and now bend your knees and pull the knees into the body, and then pull the knees away from each other. So you've got ankles are crossed, knees are wide, engage with the feet. So here I want you to play a little bit. I want you to move. I want you to do a little pelvic tilt. I want you to play a little bit, but keep the ankles locked to each other. Now hands could be a good guide, or you might decide to just go freestyle and bring the hands down. So play a little bit. Big breath in, full breath out. Good. Take a big breath in and then blow the breath out. Good. Keep the ankles crossed and stretch the legs up into the air. And now the legs lock to each other and squeeze the legs strongly to each other, strongly to each other. And now change the crisscross and repeat what you just did. So you crisscross, bend the knees, pull the knees in, widen the knees, and play. Experiment a little bit. Now some of us are going to notice this subtle difference in the hips, in the articulation of movement and mobility, and just breathe in that thought, I am enough, I am enough. So we want to be the constant observer, the compassionate observer when we're on our yoga mat. Unity for the body and the mind in this practice. All right, so let's play a little more. Stretch the legs up into the air, unwind the ankles, and now open and close the legs. Open and close the legs. And now over time, some might keep the legs straight. Some might bend a knee. Some might bend the other knee. Some might bend both knees. I mean, there's so many ways to play around with this. So many ways. So try it in the bent knee position. Try it in a straight leg position. Do it a few more times. Open and close. Open and close. Good work. And now the next time the legs close to each other, bend the knees, drop your feet. Adjust. Rest one hand on the heart, one hand on the stomach. And again, sink into the thought, I am enough. I am enough. Feel that you melt around your breath. Soften your jaw. whatever your tension points are in your body. So I've trained my body pretty well for it not to show up in my jaw, at least while I'm awake. But while I'm awake, it does show up in my shoulders, shows up in my hips, shows up in my feet. So those are landmarks that I always check in with. What are your spots? What are your spots where you feel tension? And if you don't know, keep coming, keep practicing. All right, go ahead and drop the arms, move the legs side to side. Now this side to side motion, this go around is going to give you some momentum to tip over to one side, and I want you to come into seated. And as you come into seated, you could sit at the short end of your mat, so the mat is out ahead of you. And just take a few breaths in and out. And then find what is a comfortable seated position for you, whatever that looks like. And then in the seated position, there's no rush, there's no hurry, take the time if there's propping needed. All right, and then start to move the head around. Move the head around, shrug the shoulders, lift the chin, sink the chin. Again, as you breathe and move, weave in the thought, I am enough, I am enough. And let the motion of the head and the shoulders start to move through the spine, round the back and arch the back, round the back, and arch the back. Good, and then over the next few breaths, extend just the right leg out ahead of you. And move the toes and move the foot around a little bit just to feel the stretch of the legs. Similar to what you just did with the legs in the air, but now you've got the hard surface of the ground. Good, and then just swap that out. This was just a little preliminary. So just switch it out, yeah. So bend the right knee, stretch out through the left leg. While you reach out through the leg, move the toes, move the foot. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Good, and then do that again. Stretch the right leg forward, pull the left leg in. Good, and then a few times lean over the right leg. So on a few times, I want you to move in and out of a forward fold. How much do you engage with the foot? How much do you engage with the leg? How much do you engage all the way up into the glute to give a stretch to the spine so you can lead with your heart? And then within a few breaths here, can you just sit in the forward fold, lead with the heart, chin can go towards the chest, and this is a time of quiet reflection. You can think to yourself while you breathe, I am enough. I am enough. And then you almost hear it echoed in your breath. Your breath whispers, I am enough. Take one more big breath in and sigh the breath out. Lead with the heart to come on up, and then switch this and give that a go on the second side. Switch out the legs. And as always, first and foremost, listen to your body. So there might be a time that shows up in our practice, we do this for a little bit of a shorter time on one side versus the other, or something along those lines, right? We might decide I need to do this a little longer. So in and out of a forward fold, feel how much engagement with the foot, with your leg, into your butt cheek, into the muscle of the glute can really help to facilitate what you need. That the complement of engaging and stretching. I think I was just about to make up the word complimation. I want to write that down because I don't think it's a real word. I don't know what I was thinking. Complimation. Interesting. Yeah. So after you've gone in and out of a few times, is it cool to just hang out there? Ask your body, be with the breath, unity of your body and your mind, and you hear the breath. It whispers, I am enough. I am enough. Let your body breathe one more hearty breath in, let the breath out. And then from there, I'll ask you to sit up so you can stretch the legs out and maybe take the feet about as wide as your mat. Some are going to want to go closer, some are going to go wider. Make it work for you. Take a couple of breaths. Extend the arms out in front of you, and as you do that, lift the spine and then take the shoulders back and reach the arms into the air. Reach out through your arms and your legs. Feel the legs hug in. Feel the feet hug in. Stretch the toes. Let there be a little softness to the shoulders while you lift your heart, and maybe even a little smile. Maybe a little bit of a smile with that thought, I am enough. And give yourself one more nice big breath in. Let the breath out. Bring the hands down to your legs, and a few times move in and out of the forward fold here. All right. So it could be, I know a lot of times I like to bend the knees a lot here, but it might be fine for you to keep the legs straight. I would just ask that you do check in with the knees to make sure you've got a little bit of a micro bend there. So we want to be able to engage the leg muscle and have a little bit of a bend into the knee. All right, so after you move in and out of that a few times, how about hanging out there in your forward fold, that reflection of breath, the reflection of unity, the sort of the yoking here, if you will, of your body and your mind and your breath and your mantra in the moment where we get to practice together, even though we're in our individual homes. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. I am enough. I am enough. Next, I'm going to invite you to climb onto your hands and knees. Come into table. And start with some motion that feels familiar for you, that feels helpful for you. Good, and then can I ask you to walk the hands out ahead of you, just the beginning of a puppy stretch, and lean the hips back. So it's a little bit of a crossbreed, if you will, of the child's pose and the puppy. So your hips aren't all the way back, but your hips aren't all the way up. Take a big breath in, nod the head yes. Hug the midline, hands, arms, shoulders, knit the ribs into each other and up towards your heart. And then go ahead and just sink back into child's pose. Can you luxuriate back? You might want more distance between your knees. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Child's pose. What a perfect place for your mantra today, I am enough. All right, give it another big breath in. And then rise up into your table again. Knees are close, but have the hands wide. And then stretch your right leg back. And I would ask you to start with the foot down. I want you to stretch the foot. I want you to feel a stretch throughout the back of the leg. Firm up. Reach from your heart out through the leg. And then go ahead and switch that to the other side. Yeah. Reach your heart forward while you power down into the foot. Good. And then do that one more time on the first side. Stretch the right leg back. Extend the left arm forward. So really power down into the foot to reach out through the arm. Find the leverage in your breath. And then one more breath, I am enough. And then everything comes down, knee is down, hand is down, switch it to the other side. You've got it. So reach back, push down into the foot. And when the time is right, steady and ready with your breath, I am enough. Reach the right arm forward, breathe in, breathe out. Good work. Hand down, knee down. Revisit a little bit of motion. And then let that motion and this unity factor of your body and your mind help you to decide, do I sink into a child's pose, or is it time for me to stretch into a down dog? And that's going to be different for everybody. So you do what you feel like you want to do. And you're home right now. You might decide to come up with something altogether different. Be in the breath. I am enough. I am enough. All right, one more settling breath. Come onto the hands and knees to add on. This time, space between the knees and the hands are close. With the hands close, stretch the left arm forward and then reach your left arm up into the air. Yeah. Push down into the right hand and reach out through the arm. And breathe in and breathe out. Now, if I were in this, I know that I'd have to decide, do I look up or do I look down? That's a lot of neck sensitivity I have, so I just share that because I want you to check in with yourself. Give it one more big breath in. Good work. Bring the hand down, round the back, arch the back, shimmy the hips a bit. Hands come closer, knees are wider, so you've got balance. And then prepare, steady and ready. Extend the right arm forward and then reach it up into the air. Push down into the left hand. Do you look up? Do you look down? But you feel the stillness. So on the outside, you look very still. You feel what's going on inside. Great job. Bring the hand down. Move through the body. After that, if you're ready for a down dog, push the hands down, push the feet down. Reach through your arms, reach through your legs. Big breath in, full breath out. And then typically when we're in the studio together, I say knees up and knees down. That's my personal preference in and out of a down dog. I want to make sure I've got my hands are settled, my feet are settled, my clothes are comfortable, I can breathe, that I'm looking in the right direction. So again, take a breath. Feel firmness in your feet, in your legs, all the way to your butt, through the center of the body. Take a big breath in and blow the breath out. Reach into the hands. And then feel satisfied with this. Bring the knees down. Sink back into child's pose. And let yourself recalibrate. Recalibrate the body. Recalibrate the mind. They're yoked. They are working together with the breath. And where the mind remembers, I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. In the child's pose, I'm going to ask you to stay in the child's pose. Stretch the arms ahead of you, and then move your hands over to the left. Move your hands to the left. Breathe into the sides of the body. And this is a really delicious pose here in this extended child's pose to just amplify the message, I am enough. So let it really reverberate from your breath to your lungs, into your heart, out into the ribs, and it just starts to emerge at the surface. It starts to seep out into your skin. So that thought, I am enough, begins to show up in our actions, in our speech, in how we conduct ourselves with ourselves and with all other living beings. Take one more big breath in. Get what you can out of this shape at a peaceful pace, and then go over to the other side. In that transition, really make it your own. Be mindful. Breathe into the side of the body. Let the breath give you that reminder, I am enough. right, so come on into center. Some are going to use a blanket under the knees. Some might just fold the mat over. I mean, you might be fine with this, but I'm going to invite you to come into table, to step a foot forward. I like outside of the hand because then there's a lot of play. So you're going to be, you what? Oh. So stepping a foot forward, you're on one knee and you're just going to start to move around. I would say typically easiest movement is the back and forth.
Like so?
Yeah. Back and forth. I think this is a great place to get introduced to the mobility of the feet and the ankles, up into the knee, into the hip, the length of the spine. I mean, my gosh, this is just an absolute playground of delight here. So take a big breath in and a full breath out. And now I'll ask you to switch that. So whichever foot you step forward, bring it back, other foot comes forward. Same deal. Any sort of modifications to help with the shoulders or the neck. Keep breathing. Note how your toes and your feet and your ankles feel here. I am enough. Switch this again. So go to the first side. Bring it forward. And now what I'll ask you to do is to steady yourself. Bring your knee so it's right over the heel. Hands come up onto the thigh. How's this back knee feeling? That's for you to decide. And then how about if the hips just were to sink forward a little bit? So that will bring the knee forward of the heel a bit. Does your knee feel okay with that? If you're good with that, you're good with that. Take a big breath in, extend the arms forward, draw the shoulders back, and then reach the arms up into the air. So feel your power in the moment to press down into your feet. Legs hug the midline. You lift up through the spine. You lift up through the very top of the head. Arms engage just as your legs engage. Hands engage just like your feet engage. Take another big breath in, that thought, I am enough. Bring the hands down, step the knee back, breathe, switch it over to the other side, but all the while, it's always your breath. It's always you guided by your body, okay? You're not going by my words to feel rushed. Knee above the heel, steady yourself. Do you sink the hips forward a little bit? So that's where we use the feet, we use the legs, we use the hips. Take a big breath in, extend the arms forward, instantly lift the spine, draw the shoulders back, and let the arms reach up into the air. Lift the neck. Feel the steady engagement of the whole body. It's phenomenal. You're phenomenal. This is amazing. That thought, I am enough. I am enough. You could weave in a smile as the fingers radiate. Take another breath. Go ahead and bring the hands down. Bring the knee back. Come on down. Onto hands and knees. Round the back. Arch the back. Sway the hips. Take a breath. Prepare your mind for the action of down dog and then use the breath to make that manifest. All right. So take your time. There's no rush. There's no hurry. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Good. Take another big breath in, full breath out. Separate the feet as wide as your mat and then plan to walk the hands towards the feet. So the feet are wide, bend the knees, walk hands to the feet. Take a breath here. What you've already worked on, feel the strength throughout the body. Good. Raise your hands onto your knees. Keep looking down and stretch the spine. Take a big breath in, and then when you exhale, fold down. Yeah, and then repeat that. 3 more times. Do that. Inhale, come up halfway. Strong legs, long spine. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise up. Stretch, stretch, stretch the spine. Exhale, fold down. 1 more time. And then here, just sink down. And then crawl the hands forward into your downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. Option to go forward into a plank. Stay strong in the arms, strong in the legs, long in the spine. Good work. Feet are wide enough that you can, again, walk the hands towards the feet. Catch your breath on this one. Don't feel hurried. Big breath in, full breath out. Begin to bend the knees. Hands come to the hips for a chair pose. You're building this from the ground up. Steady in the feet, strong in the legs. Press the outer hips back. Little bit of a pelvic tilt so you've got a lot of freedom and stability in the back, and shine the heart forward. Take a second, sweep the arms forward, shoulders back, arms reach up. You're in your chair pose to the deepest of your ability, but really just amplifying. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. Good. Reach all the way up. Stretch up. Grab your right wrist and lean over to the left. Breathe into the whole side of the body. You could even sway the hips over to the side a little bit. Ooh, so good. Big breath in, full breath out. Come into center. Do that on the other side. Grab your wrist. Lean over to the right. Hips could go over. Big breath in. Good work. Come into center. Rest a hand on the heart. Rest a hand on the stomach. And feel, this is a gentleness break. I want you to feel grounded. I want you to feel like, yeah, I'm really getting this unity of the body and the mind. Our attention is pulled in so many directions right now. So really feel, wow, I am here. I am present. I am enough. I am enough. Take one more breath in, sigh the breath out. As you let the breath go, drop the arms at the sides. So building into a warrior one, I'm going to have you step the right foot forward, step it forward, step it forward. So you've got a good distance between the feet. You've got a good sense of balance. Bend your right knee. Incorporate the arms, everything you've already practiced. Strong legs, long spine. Arms forward, shoulders back, arms up. And you pause here. Breathe in and breathe out. I am enough. Breathe in and breathe out. I am enough. Breathe in and breathe out. I am enough. Good. Bring the arms down and step your feet to each other and just take a second. Just sort of feel the echo of what you just created. Second side. So you're going to lead with the left foot. The right foot is behind you. Steady yourself with the work you've already done. Steady in the feet, strong in the legs, long in the spine. Left knee above the heel, the arms go forward. You plug the head of the arm bones back and you feel yourself lift up from the pelvic floor right up to the top of the head. And you can even smile here. I am a warrior. As you stand in your warrior one, give it another big breath in, full breath out. Well done. Hands down, step the feet to each other, shake it out, breathe it out, feel grounded. Good. So how about at this time, I'm going to have you turn to the long end of the mat. We'll work with a warrior two sequence. So take the feet out away from each other, stretch out through your arms, stretch out through your legs. All right, so we've been leading with the right. So turn the right foot to the right. You might take a quick snapshot that the left outer edge of the foot is parallel to the back end of your mat there. Bend the knee, knee above the heel, palms up or palms down. Take a breath. I love when we'll do this in class together. Stretch your arms out in front of your heart. Plug your arms back and then open the arms up. Yeah, so lift up through the center of the body. Hug the legs to each other. Again, in this warrior two, think to yourself, feel in yourself, I am enough. I am enough. One more big breath in. Really confident, really grounded. No doubt about that warrior. Relax the arms. Bring the feet in a little closer. Take a forward fold. So in the forward fold, you might decide to go longer with the legs or bring the feet closer. But yeah, just kind of play around a little bit here with it. Make it your own. You can let your tongue hang out, like your eyes go googly googly. You can sway the head around a lot. Bend and straighten the knees. Any sort of play that lands well for you and your body. Okay, so you've got a distance between the feet that you can handle putting your hands on your knees again to stretch the spine forward. And then when you exhale, you're going to fold down. You do that 3 more times. Inhale, hands to the thighs, just above the knees. Stretch the spine. Fold down when you exhale. Follow your breath. Rise up on the inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold down. And then just 1 more time. 3rd time's the charm. Good things happen in 3s. Fold down. And now plan to stand. Stretch the arms. Feel the radiance of you. I am enough. And maybe smile. Maybe you can smile. I'm smiling, I'm practicing, I'm radiant. Okay, drop the arms for a second. Pivot the left foot to the short end of the mat. Quick little note that the right foot is steady and grounded. Bend into your left knee. Sweep the arms out ahead of you. Arm bones back. Extend out through the arms. And you stay here and breathe. You just hang out. You hang out in the strength of the body, in the ease of the breath. The mind is thinking, I am enough. I am enough. Hug the midline, lift the spine. Relax the arms. Relax your arms down at your sides. Turn the left foot in. And again, pivot into that wide leg forward fold. Now some at this point could work into a squat, and that would be just absolutely spot on, and others are going to be satisfied with the forward fold. So you decide your way through that, what works well for you here. Thanks for coming to my yoga class. Thanks for letting me teach you yoga today. Okay. So again, on your breath, plan to stand. As you stand up, bring your feet to each other. Big breath in and a full breath out. So the final standing pose is a warrior 3. So I think it best, at least for our space here, that you stand in the middle of the mat, looking at the short end of the mat. You're going to go, feet are together. Feet are together, hands are on the hips. Strong in the legs, long in the spine. Okay, strong in the legs, long in the spine. So whichever foot you're okay to stand on, I'm going to have you stand on that foot, and you're going to do a little bit, I would say hands on the hips. A little bit of the heart coming forward. You lift one foot, the heel, the foot. You can kick the leg back and lean the heart forward. So again, what I mentioned, strong legs, long spine, strong legs, long spine. I am enough. Arms could go out to the side as you soar. Perfectly imperfect. Arms could go ahead of you. Perfectly imperfect. Big breath in. Full breath out. See if you can play and have fun. Big breath in. Full breath out. And then when that side is complete for you, just stand for a second. Just shake it off. Hand on the heart, hand on the stomach. Full breath in, full breath out. You can inhale, stretch the arms up into the air. Hold the hands to each other, lean to the right. Come into center and lean to the left. Come into center, rest your hands over your heart. Full breath in, full breath out. And I always say there's no rush with the balance. We cannot rush the balance. It's going to do what it's going to do, right? Totally unpredictable, don't know what to expect. So in your own timing, you can prepare for the second side, standing on the foot that was lifted, and take a big breath in. So I would recommend that feet are together, hands are on the hips, and you play with that little bit of a teeter-totter to lean the heart forward and stretch the leg back. So it's just a little bit of play. I personally am not, at this stage in my practice, I'm never looking to make a pose perfectly. I love the imperfection of it. I love for my body to be surprised by lack of balance or nailing the balance or just feeling really wobbly here, because this is going to be real life stuff. So we're practicing this unity. We're practicing staying with the breath. Perfectly imperfect. It's such a great practice. And then from there, again, just take a second, stand, ground, hand on the heart, hand on the stomach, full breath in, full breath out. Good work. And then again, I'm going to invite you to come onto your back again. So going back to where it all began, breath in and breath out, stretch out, create some of the movement that you have found feels really good for you. Get grounded. So you could return to the knees are bent and the hands are on the hip. Sorry, not the hands are on the hips. I don't know why I said the hands are not on the hips. Hands are at the sides, they're extended out, and the legs are going side to side. Perfectly imperfect. Go ahead and hug the knees into the body. Give yourself a squeeze. Good. Drop the left foot. Reach out through the whole left leg. And while you pull the right knee in, you can draw it over to the left. And take a big breath in and a full breath out. Arms could go anywhere that feels really delicious for you. Full breath in, full breath out. I'm going to ask you to switch that to the other side. Pulling the knee into the body, extending out through the right leg. Draw it over to the side. So along the way, noting some byproducts of the practice. Historically, we know that it will help us with our health and it'll calm down our mind. And through a practice like this, there are moments of spontaneous expression of really the highest form of love, compassion, and feeling. I invite you to come on into center. Let the body stretch out. Reach out through the legs, reach out through the arms. Soften. If there's any other final movement that would help you to feel comfortable, give way to that. So really trusting your own intuition And if it's time for you to be still, let yourself be still. Easy breath in and out. Every breath whispers in your ears, in your mind, I am enough. Relax your arms and relax your legs. Notice your breath. Notice your whole body. Create some gentle movement, a reawakening to the day, feeling the unity of you and the universe. And some gentle movements. And in those gentle movements, scanning the body and making the conscious decision to either stay grounded, stay relaxed, or to create some movement, some bigger movement, maybe you hug the knees in. And then within that, deciding if you would like to just stay where you are or if you'd like to join me in seated. So again, there is a choice there. And I love that space that we create for ourselves between thought and action. There is freedom to breathe and to decide, to make a conscious decision. I invite you to bring the hands together in front of your heart to feel the reflection of the I am enough statement in the body. To choose positive and fulfilling new thoughts right here, right now, before you do anything else. And we'll conclude with a song of Om. So if you'd like to join in, just send the good vibes out into the universe for everyone to experience. So we'll take a nice big breath in. You are totally awesome. Till next time, my friend, namaste. Thank you so much for letting me teach you today, putting up with my shenanigans, and I hope to see you again soon, so be well. All set out there?